Boom. What's Gucci, Bert?
What's up, man?
How are you?
Good.
What'd you do today?
I went down to McCarricker State Park and I took some pictures of my sister.
You were taking them? You're a photographer?
Yeah.
You have a camera?
I got an iPhone 11, so basically, yeah.
Really? You took them on the iPhone?
Pretty professional.
Loud.
Uh-huh.
That's sick. Where'd you graduate from?
UCSF.
And what?
Counseling. Yeah.
Undergrad or what?
No, she did her master's in counseling.
Really?
Yeah, and she's $100K in debt, but hey, I mean.
Hey, it's worth it,
it's
bro.
Worth it,
it's
man.
a flex. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What about you? What'd you do?
I woke up, had my coffee. I was helping my dad clean the garage. Yo, bro, you know what's crazy? He found a picture of us when we were younger.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't even know we knew each other when we were younger.
I didn't think we did.
Yeah, it was us in, what was it, in preschool and Head Start. But,
Really?
because we were never really close growing up.
No, not at all. Like the first time I remember he was in like middle school, so.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't think we talked about that, huh?
I don't think we did, no.
All right, let's talk about that. That's a good talking point right there. When did we meet?
What I remember when me first meeting you was in middle school, and it was during summer. I remember that, and you wanted to learn how to play soccer, and so you were asking me like how to curve a soccer ball, and I was kind of giving you some tips and pointers. I thought I was a hot shot, so I was over here. Hey, this is how you curve it. Like, no big deal. I'll show you. But that's like the first time I really remember seeing you.
Yeah,
Is that what you remember?
Yeah, because it was summer going into high school. And I was in summer school, and you were with all the brainiacs.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know what you were doing, but you guys were like in a camp.
It was a science summer camp thing.
Yeah. And we had the same lunch, and you guys were out there kicking the ball, and I was like hanging out with the bad group. I was a bad kid back then, and it was because I started liking soccer because of the World Cup. I remember that. Miss Estep used to always play it in class.
That's how you started.
And then I started just watching it. I would never play growing up, and then I saw you guys kicking the ball. I was like, oh, I should try it out.
Yeah.
And then after that, I started going with Big D. Shout out to Big D. And Steve-O. Shout out to Steve-O, my boy.
Yeah.
And we used to go out and just kick the ball. I was super bad. Was never really good.
Yeah, I remember you being pretty bad.
Yeah, and you guys were... thanks, bro. And you guys... it was like, what was it? You, Edgar, Alan, Hector.
Yeah, maybe Isaac was in there.
The whole squad.
Yeah,
you guys were just out there kicking it. Yeah, I remember that, bro. Damn, that's crazy. But even in high school, like we were never... close like we are now until like college.
Yeah, it really was.
Weird.
It was after high school, maybe like sophomore year in college or something like that. That's when we really started like hanging out. Like during the summers, we'd come back together.
I wonder why that is, bro.
But I even remembered, like, would you hit me up? Would I hit you up? Like,
I feel like it was just like a mutual thing. Cause like, bro, once you move away, or once all your friends start moving away, like once you're back, like you start, hey, who's here? Who's in town?
That's true.
What are you doing?
Because you're hella bored, just like, come on, let's go do something.
And I feel like me and you would always be very consistent with that, like hanging out and stuff. That's crazy, bro.
So why didn't we hang out in high school? What do you think?
I feel like we just had our clique. In high school, I feel like we started getting closer like towards the end because we started playing.
We played soccer together.
Yeah.
So
like even when we started, like what was it? My first year of JV, you got called up to varsity.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until junior senior that we played together.
Yeah.
And then we were captains.
I was sick.
Captains.
Yeah.
All good times. But yeah, other than that, like we were never really close. We just had a different friend group. I think that was it. We just grew up with different friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we had any summer classes or anything in high school either.
Nah, you were all AP.
I was always doing the AP classes, and God, I hated them.
I was in those, what do they call them, the special education classes?
Yeah, that's the classes I teach now. It's all
I could have been one of your students, bro. Yeah, but growing up, bro, we just had a different friend group. I was a little thug. I was a little skater rat.
Were you really?
Yeah, bro.
What would you do or what?
I was such a punk, bro.
Really?
Dude, it's so crazy. Like, just looking back or just, like, hearing stories of when I was younger, dude, or, like, the things I used to do. I was such an idiot. Like,
what are some stories?
Like, did I ever tell you about that one time I got my ass beat?
No, I don't think so.
Bro, dude. Oh, it was the worst day of my life. So,
what?
I used to just hang out with, like, a bad clique. Like, I don't even know what they're doing now. And I remember one day, it was in middle school, bro. It was the 7th grade. I'm never going to forget this, bro. One of my buddies, I'm not going to say names, got in a fight with another guy. The guy that I ended up fighting. So he got in a fight with him that morning. And my dumbass, trying to be an instigator, like, went up to him. I was like, hey, what happened? I knew exactly what happened. I was like, hey, what happened? and He was like, meet me at the shed after. Remember that blue shed at the middle school? He's like, meet me at the shed after school and I'll show you. And I was like, all right. And bro, by the time school ended, everybody knew. His friends knew.
So funny how word just goes around so quick.
No one keeps a bunch of rats full. No one keeps their mouth shut.
Seriously.
And everybody knew. All my friends go. All his friends go. And at that time, he's chilled out. Mm-hmm. He was like, yeah, bro, I don't even want to fight anymore.
He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, I was like, oh, thank God. Like, I don't either. Like, I didn't even, you know what I'm saying? I was just starting a fight.
You were just instigating for no reason.
Yeah, bro. And we start walking down, is it Harold? The street that connects the middle school to Columbia? Start walking down that street. Mm-hmm. One of his friends, like, we pass an alley. He's like, bro, this is a perfect spot to do it. Damn. And then I was just like, my
his
head.
friend said that.
Yeah, his friend said it. And then in my head, I was like, God damn, bro. Like, and then he was like, do you want to? I was like, yeah, sure. I was like, just to be cool, you know what I'm saying? Just to impress my friends. I was like, I'll get down. Bro.
How'd that go?
Horribly, bro. Like, as soon as I get my hands up, I didn't even know how to fight, bro. I didn't even know how to fight. I was like a little chihuahua. I just talk. I'll just bark. Mm-hmm. As soon as I get my hands up, bro, there's a red flag. Red flag number 1. I should have known just to stop right there, bro. Because he leans in before. He's like, hey, bro, whenever you want to stop, just let me know.
Damn.
I was like, damn, this guy knows what he's doing.
He's like, I'm about to beat your ass. So I was like, better be careful.
Bro. So I just remember throwing the first punch, bro. He dodges it. Horrible punch. Like, I step with my right foot. So I was like standing orthodox. I step with my right foot and miss. And he just goes for my legs, takes me down. Shoots a double, takes me down.
Isn't that crazy though? Because sometimes when I think like, oh, let's fight, it's like it's gonna be a fist fight. But
bro, no, a fight's a fight.
I know, yeah.
He can pull my hair.
I guess in my head, I'm thinking like boxing or something. Like, nah, you're just gonna tackle the guy.
So the guy takes me down to the ground, bro. I just remember like opening my eyes and seeing like gravel. Like I'm like on my hands and knees, covering my head, bro. He's just wailing on me, throwing elbows, hitting me, bro. And at first, all my friends were like, come on, Izzy, come on. And then it just got quiet. And then he just, dude, bro, probably the whole thing lasted like 30 seconds.
How many people were there? We were watching you guys
probably
fight?
Like 10 to 15 deep.
Oh, so there was a
lot of people. Yeah, there was a lot of people. There was a lot of people.
Damn.
And then I just remember, bro, him getting off of me, and I just like opened my eyes, and my head was just throbbing. The back of my head was throbbing.
You had been punching your head and
dude,
stuff?
Dude, he was wailing on me.
Damn.
Like, I didn't even punch him. I didn't even hit him.
Right.
I started the whole thing. I didn't touch the guy.
And then you got your
dude, like, it was so bad, bro.
Damn.
And I just remember my face was all bloody. My face was all torn up, dude. And I was just thinking, what the hell just happened? And then I get up. All my friends don't say a word to me. And then another buddy, I'm gonna shout him out because he's a homie, Ryan. He came up and he's like, they leave. They start walking away, and then Orion comes up because it was like right behind where his cousin lived. And he was like, bro, what happened? Like, shocked.
Oh,
like,
he didn't see the
He wasn't
fight
there. No,
what?
he wasn't there.
Oh.
He showed up late because he was at his cousin's house, but he came. He's like, bro, what happened? And all my friends explained to him. And he's like, what? You guys just stood around and watched? He's like, we got no respect for that fool. To this day, bro, Orion, shout you out. I respect you. We were just kids, bro. We were idiots. So he like rallies up the troop. They're like, yeah, like what the hell? Blah, blah, blah. Like, why are we just standing around? They go after him, and it's just me and Steve-O. Shout out to Steve-O. That's the boy. It was just me and Steve-O. We start walking back, bro. Literally, as soon as we hit Columbia's, halfway home, I started thinking, dude, what am I going to tell my parents?
Oh, yeah.
And I was just thinking in my head, like...
So you were really cut up and stuff?
Dude, I'm telling you, bro.
It was bad.
Bad.
Damn.
Like, half of my face, like... Because it was like... When he tackled me, like, my face went in gravel. Like, it would just, like, scrape me up.
Right.
And then he was hitting me. So it
you
was just, like, bruised, like, chichones, like... Dude, it was just stinging, bro. I had my hoodie on. I was so embarrassed. I was the walk of shame for, like, a mile and a half, bro.
Damn.
And I remember... I was just thinking, I can tell him, like, I fell on my skateboard or something. Like, I get in accidents all the time.
Yeah.
I can tell him something happened. And it was right in front of your house, actually, that big open field, bro.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. And we were cutting across, bro. And at the time, my dad used to drive a crappy little red pickup. It was a little red Chevy. And me and Steve were just walking, and he's just, like, trying to comfort me. He's like, bro, it's going to be fine. Like, don't worry. You just get ice on it. And I just hear beep, beep, beep. Because at the time, I didn't have a phone. And, like, back then, like, if you didn't check in, if you didn't call... If you didn't check in with your parents, like, they go looking for you. And my parents would always go looking for me.
Mine are the same way.
And he starts honking a horn, and I was like, damn, bro, like, I'm about to get my ass beat. Like, I already knew it. And then I dap Steve up. He goes on his way. I start cutting back across the field. And then as soon as I get in the car, I take my hoodie off. And my dad's like, what happened? And I was like, oh, I fell. And he, like, knew I was lying, so he got mad.
I fell off.
Ismael, ¿qué te pasó? And I was like, dude, I got in a fight. And then he got like, what do you mean you got in a fight? I was like, I got in a fight and this, and I explained, and he just, wow, fucking backhands me, bro. Yeah, dude,
Isn't
I
that
just
so
boom,
funny?
like seeing
That
stars.
Mexican parents
Get whiplash,
their
bro.
solution to any, like, anything is like just to hit you back.
The thing that he got mad about was that I started the fight, and then I got my ass beat.
Right.
He's like, don't want to start a fight, and then if you got in a fight, do damage, like hit him back, do something.
Put up a fight.
Yeah, put up a fight, bro. Like, you just got your ass beat. You started it. Like, you got what you deserve. You know what I'm saying? Bro, and it was so bad, bro. And then I just remember after that, he threw like 4 backhands, bro. And I was sitting there crying, bro. I was like, damn. And then we didn't even go home after, bro. He goes to pick up like a check. Where Danny lives right now, he went there to go pick up a check from some guy that owed him money. Like, he did a yard. Like, he did yard work for him. So he went to go pick up a check. I was sitting in the car crying for like 30 minutes, bro.
Oh my God.
Dude, I was just sitting there. And then after we immediately go home, my mom's like, oh my God, get the paso, gets ice on me.
Yeah.
And dude, the worst part is, bro, I'm not even gonna lie to you. The worst part is the next day, my dad's like, we're gonna go to the school, we're gonna talk to the principal, we're gonna tell him what happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. So
That's even more embarrassing to add on top of that.
Bro, not even the worst part. We go, he parks the car right there where the buses like are supposed to go. Parks right there. We start walking. He didn't even park by the office. He parks like way back there, so we have to walk across like at the beginning, like at
Was this in the morning?
Yeah, in the morning where everybody's outside. So I'm sitting there like with
all
strawberry all over
stuff.
my face. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Walking
it's all
with
raw and
You gotta
dude. And I
the
was
walk of
dating,
shame part 2.
dude. Part 2 in front of everybody that didn't know, or I'm sure they heard at the time because that word got around fast, bro. And the worst part is that I was dating a little güerita. I walked right by her. Didn't say a word to her. I was so ashamed. I was so embarrassed, bro. I just had my head down. I knew she was right there. I just walked right by her. Get in the office, bro. They call the other kid in, bro. We both get suspended for like 3 days. Oh, my dad was so disappointed. Moral of the story, bro. Don't start a fight. You know what I'm saying?
Unless
like,
you're willing
never,
to fight
yeah,
back.
bro. Since that day, like, I never started a fight. No, I don't, and then like the next time I got in boxing classes, never fought. Never had a fight like that ever again.
Damn.
I was just a punk. I was just looking for trouble.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying?
Now it makes sense why I didn't hang out with you.
Yeah, bro. I'm sure your mom didn't want me to hang out with you, bro.
Probably. Yeah, because I was always hanging out with kids who were always like trying to get good grades and stay in school,
Bro,
and do extra work and stuff like that.
Should hang out with you guys.
Should
Probably would have went to a UC.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. Shout out to Steve-O. Shout out to Orion. Those are the homies. The other guys that were there don't know where they are. They can go kick rocks. The guy that beat my ass. I hope you trip and fall.
Have you been in any other fights besides that, or?
I
Is that
have,
the only
yeah,
one?
but it's a different story.
You want to name drop?
Different time,
Okay.
but
Yeah, because I haven't been in any fights. I know there's people who try to start fights with me, and I was like, dude, like, really, you gonna do this? And then I feel like
are
I
we
was
really
like,
gonna do this right now, bro?
yeah, I feel like I just out
right
talked them. I'm just like, dude, like, you're an idiot. Like, why would you want to do that? Like, you
You're
just
like,
look
hey
like a
man,
fool.
I think you're right.
And I was like, yeah, whatever. The bell rings, and then I go inside.
Damn.
There's one time I remember in what is it, Dan and Gray, like elementary school, 5th grade. I remember I don't want to name drop, but some kid was getting like pushed around. He's like a smaller kid. He's in our grade.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
And, okay, oh yeah, I'll stop talking. But yeah, and he was getting bullied by another person in our grade. This guy that was bullying him, hella cool now. Like, he's super chill, super
I know exactly what
relaxed,
you're talking about.
And he was hella pushing him around and like kind of making fun because he was a smaller kid. He had glasses, and I just remember, like, I think we were playing soccer next to them, and I just saw him kept on getting pushed, and it was like an instinct, just a primal instinct. I just ran over there and I like jumped, like I did like a leap, like a dive, like a goalie or something, and I just pushed the bully off the guy. And the guy, he was so shocked that someone actually cared to like step
like
in, and he was like, what? I was like, dude, what are you doing? And then he's just like,
oh, just take it easy, man.
and he was just like, what? And then it just like, I don't know, he was so surprised that somebody said something.
Checked him, bro.
And then he stopped and he just like walked away, and it was like,
Yeah.
cool. It's just so weird that, like, I don't know.
Damn, you're a great guy.
Oh yeah, man. They should put me in the papers, honestly.
When was that?
This is like 5th grade, I think. It was right before middle school.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's funny because the guy who was getting bullied, like, for the next couple years, he'd always remind me. He's like, dude, I remember when you did that for me. Like, that was so cool.
Aww.
And I was like, damn. And then I was kind of like taking advantage of it. That sometimes too, I'd be like, in
hey,
high
go
school.
get me
In high school,
lunch.
I was like, hey, dude, like, remember that one time I saved you? I really want that slice of pizza.
Cup up your lunch money, kid.
Yeah, I'm a terrible human being. Yeah.
Dude, that's actually really sad, bro. I always think that, like, bro, if I have a kid and he gets bullied, bro,
that would suck. What would you do?
I don't know what I would do, bro.
As parents, like, I'm sorry, you're a loser. Like,
I feel like you could see it though. Like, as a parent, you could see You know what I'm saying? Like, this kid's socially awkward, or he's,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
To be honest, like, I'm kind of concerned about my little brother, my youngest brother right now.
Really? Is he like that or what?
Because, well, he's not in sports. The difference between him and like myself and my other older siblings is we all did sports. So we always had a clique. We always had friends because we always played soccer. We had basketball or whatever other sports we were playing. So we always had other friends. But for him, he just doesn't really like going out that much. He likes staying inside. He likes playing on his phone or his tablet.
You're talking about the little one?
The little one, yeah. And so it's like, man, like, I hope he finds his clique. Because I think once you get into middle school, I think that's when you really start creating little groups. That's when you start separating people and you start getting your own cliques.
Yeah.
Because sports starts getting involved in middle school. And I think that's when it really, really, really does start. And so right now, like, he has a few friends, but like those friends that he has, like, one of them plays basketball, another one plays soccer, another one's like super athletic and is running all the time. He's 10.
Bro, you gotta get him in there quick.
Dude, I know,
bro.
and I've been trying to convince my parents too, but they're like, "Oh, we tried. He just doesn't want to. It's just not his thing." And I'm just like, "Dude, like, no, like, you have to just like." It seems weird, but like, I would want to force that. Like, I'm like, "Dude, like, just
yeah,
play sports."
absolutely. At least like force him into. That's the thing, bro.
But it's like, do we have that? Say, can we really be doing that? Can we really force a kid to do that? I don't know.
I just know, like, as kids, bro, like, they have so much energy, like little balls of energy. So like, you put them in sports, they're gonna release all that.
Exactly.
They're gonna have fun. They're gonna learn how to work well with others. They're gonna learn how to win and lose.
Yeah, that's a huge one. That's a huge one.
Like, if this kid's just stuck inside playing video games all day, like, he's not gonna learn any of that.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
At least put him in a video game club or something. At the least. Tell him to hop on COD.
I think he needs to step outside, man. Like, it's so bad sometimes where we'll go out and we're like, oh, we're going to go on a walk downtown, or we're going to go to McCarricker.
And he doesn't want to go.
We're going to go to the beach and walk. And he's like, no. He's like, no, I don't want to go. It's like, no, you don't understand. Like, everyone's leaving the house. Like, you have to come. And he'll just start crying. He'll start whining and crying.
Bro.
And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, we're going to be out for 30 minutes tops. Like, what's the big deal?
You know what my dad would do to me when I did that? He would give me a reason to cry. That's what he said.
Yeah. My dad would do the same thing. But it's funny because times have just changed. Like, now you can't really do stuff like that. You can't really talk about those things because they're like, oh, wow, like, you can't hit your kid or you can't yell at your kid like that. Like, we're going to call CPS or we're going to do whatever. I feel like there's we've gotten not softer, for lack of a better word, but like, I don't know. I just feel like it's frowned upon a lot more now.
Do you feel like your parents are just like less, what's the word I'm looking for? Strict with him? Than they were with
way
you?
less strict. Yeah. Like, he gets away with so much stuff. And I'm just like, what? You would have beat my ass if I said that. You would have hit me off the side of the head if I would have commented that, if I would have said no to you. And I always hear him all the time. He's always back talking. Really? For everything. He's always back talking. Like, hey, I need you to go do this. Why? I'm like, because I said so.
Feel
Why?
Like it.
But what do you think about this? Why? And I'm just like, dude, if you say that one more time, I swear. And so I was doing something where I was like, every time you backtalk to me or backtalk to anybody in this family, you're gonna like lose your playing time on your tablet or on your phone.
Oh, you getting playing time?
Yeah, so he gets like a certain amount of time. Because this, or if we give him the whole day, if we just said, oh, just have fun, like, he'd be on it all day. So I was like, oh no, you get 2 hours per day, and then like you can earn more time if you do math or you do reading. Like,
dude, you know what's crazy, bro? Is when I was younger, my parents never restricted me from playing video games, but I was never like addicted.
Really?
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, I'd have time to play, but it was never like, they were never at a point where they wanted to kick me out of the house, like, to go play outside.
Would it ever interfere with like you eating dinner or like doing
never
stuff? Really? Okay.
Actually, I don't know. I can't remember. But like, it was never, like, I'm telling you, it was never an issue. Like, stop playing so much video games. You know what I'm saying? I would play at night or something, but.
See, that's funny because for me, it was an issue. It was for me, yeah. I remember playing Xbox like 2, 3 in the morning or something like that with some of my friends. Like, I met some people online there from Sacramento, and we'd play all the time.
Would your parents come up and like shut it off?
Yeah, and they'd come knock on the door and they'd be like, turn this off. I'm sleeping. Do you know what time it is? And I'm just like, and there's times where I'd turn off the TV, I'd run into bed, I'd jump in, and then I'd cover the what is it, the blanket over me. They'd walk in, they'd check in. I'm like, we know you're awake. Go to sleep. Turn off the Xbox. And I'm like, oh man. I'd go and I'd turn it off and I'd come back in. And then the next day I would come back from school. My Xbox would be missing. And I'd be like, what's going on?
Get it back.
I'd run downstairs. Mom, what'd you do with it? What are you doing? You can't control my life. And then she's like, oh, I have to hide it. No. And then I'd go around the house and I'd look in every drawer, every cabinet, and I'd try to find it.
Really? Where would they hide it at?
They would hide it in their room a lot. There's under their bed was like one of the common ones, and then they hid it in the kitchen cabinet, like under the sink, and that was a good one. I didn't think about that one, but I was like, you know what? I was so hopeless at one time. I was like, you know, I'm gonna look here, and sure enough, it was there, all the cables and stuff. I was like, dang, and yeah, I think they gave up after a while. Like, nah, this dude's gonna he's gonna find it eventually.
Yeah,
but
I
it
feel
was
that.
like I played a lot, but at the same time, like I said, I was still taking AP classes. I was still caring about my academics. Like I was still
Yeah, but I
getting-
mean, at 3 a.m, bro.
yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it's healthy, but I'm saying like I was still prioritizing school and sports over video games
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel that. It's good to have a balance. But the thing about kids is like they don't have discipline. Like now I can play video games. I've always seen it as like you can either be watching TV, you can be reading a book.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like as long as I get exercise, as long as I do my homework done, as long as I do whatever, eat dinner, do all this thing, go to school, like why can't I just play video games on my downtime?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
that makes sense.
it's not a big deal.
If you're do you want to be a parent? Do you want to have kids?
Yeah.
So when you have kids, and if you do, how would you go about? Like, would you be one of those parents?
That's
who
the thing. Okay, so I didn't really think about this kind of stuff until I went to go visit. It was actually on my college visit to San Bern. And I have a cousin down there, and she has kids that were at the time I want to say like 16. Yeah, 16. The oldest one was 16.
Yeah.
And dude, I hadn't seen this kid for like 2-3 years, and like whenever they'd come visit, like we'd be super tight. Like, good kid, bro. But like I just remember we stayed at their house, and literally, bro, I go upstairs, and she's like, "Oh, you want to see blah blah?" Like I'm not gonna say his name, but she's like, "You want to see him?" I was like, "Yeah." Go upstairs, bro. She opens the door. She's like, "Mijo, look who's here," and he's playing Fortnite. Bro, so dark in his room, dark, musky, like it was gross. And then he doesn't even look at me. He's just sitting there playing video games.
focused.
Yeah, and I'm just like, that's when I started thinking like, bro, like, it's
so
an
he didn't even
issue.
turn around and say
he didn't even
anything?
say what's up. And he's
Damn.
like, hey, like, oh, yeah, eventually he did. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
he did. But like, he didn't look and was like, pause the game or just stop right there. Like, it was just so weird.
That's
so I'm
so
just thinking, bro,
crazy.
like when I grow up, like when I have kids, I don't want to be that parent that just gives the baby the phone just so it can shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've seen so many babies that are like addicted to iPads, addicted to phones. Like, I don't know. I'm probably not gonna have that around them.
And I think that's my concern with my younger brother. I think he's like that. I think my parents are so laid back about it, and they're just like, "Oh, here you go. That's whatever. It's fine." And then they get on my case, and they're like, "Hey, dude, you got to be able to monitor his time. You got to make sure he's on." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not the parent. Like, I'm doing my own thing. I'm busy. I got XYZ going on. Like,
Do you ever feel stressed out about that, like, or
absolutely,
pressure?
bro. Like, it sucks because like I think I mentioned earlier that I was a behavioral therapist for a year, and like I learned a bunch of strategies on how to help kids like get over like some behavioral problems, and I see this as a behavioral issue for him. And so like I used my work, and I'd talk to my boss, and I'd be like, hey, like this is my younger brother's problem. I feel like he's doing this. Like what should we do? Like what can we do to try to help him do that? And so I would have to like start making stuff up to help him, like create little systems for him, like little reward systems. Like okay, if you do this, then you get a reward here, and then you can earn your playing time instead of just having all of it or something like that.
Do you feel like it works?
And it does, yeah. It was definitely seeing success. He was also having trouble sleeping, and I created like a sleep chart for him, and we worked on it, and now he's sleeping fine. It took like 3-4 months, but after that time, now he's having no issues with
A
that.
sleep chart. What is that?
So it was essentially like every time he went to sleep without waking myself or my parents or my siblings, because he would always wake up in the middle of the night. Like it'd be like 1-2 in the morning. He'd wake up. He's like, I can't sleep. I had a nightmare. Or, I'm scared or blah, blah, blah. And he'd just come and he'd wake us up. And then we had to stay in the room until he'd fall asleep. And then sometimes we'd go back and then boom, 5 in the morning, he's up again. He's like, I can't sleep. And it was crazy. It was keeping my parents up all night. And so I created this chart where he essentially earns like $1 every time he sleeps through a night without waking anybody up, and then at the end of the month we tally how much dollars he earned, and then you can buy something on Amazon, or you can buy something at like the Smoky Skunk store or whatever it was. And that was rewarding enough for him, like, oh yeah, I really want to buy this toy, I really want to buy this game. And so he'd like tell himself like, I can do this, I can sleep. And then after 3-4 months he ended up being able to do it, and now he can sleep without lights.
Really?
Yeah, so it's super successful. But it's like, it's all that work is on me. Like my parents don't know any of that stuff.
I feel that, man.
So it's tough, but
that is tough. It's
But
almost like you have a kid.
it's exactly like I have a kid. I always say he's my little kid. Now he's my godson. So yeah,
You're the godfather.
I'm the godfather.
That's
yeah.
loud.
Yeah.
That's lit.
What I was gonna ask you also though is that like when you do have kids, and if you have kids, like are you gonna be the parent who is like going to the sporting events and who's like
absolutely,
are you gonna be
100%, yeah.
the annoying parent?
Yeah, like the thing is, obviously I'm not gonna force him to do anything he doesn't want to do, because I've seen that. Not with my parents, like they would never like that. My parents are actually the opposite. Like I would have to force them to go to my games.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And my dad would like when I was younger, I'd play baseball, and he would like show up to games with a magazine and a Coca-Cola, and he'd just be reading the magazine, and I'd hit the ball, and I'd be like, "You didn't even watch." Like after the game, I'd be like, "You weren't even watching." He's like, "Yeah, I was. I saw this," and he was always watching. But like, there'd be times where maybe I wasn't up to bat, or I was in the outfield, and I can see him on the magazine, like just reading, or doing something. You know what I'm saying? Like it was never like he was that parent that would coach me. I think I'm gonna be that parent. I'm probably gonna be like a coach, but I don't want to be like, over coaching them.
Over involved.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want. Yeah, like I'm gonna let them do their thing. Like I'm not gonna be a parent that gets involved with the coaches. I'm not gonna be that, because I remember one time, bro, I went to go pick up Jeremiah's son at Santa Rosa United, and while I was watching his practice, there was a dad like in the back coaching the goalie. And the coach would tell the goalie something like, "Oh, when you get it, swing it out this." And the dad's like, "Hey, no le hagas caso. Like, don't listen to him. Do your thing." Like, I'm just like,
he's telling the opposite.
Yeah, like you're paying so much money for this coaching and like for this knowledge. Like, what are you doing to this kid?
Isn't that crazy? You pay money to put him on this team to get coached by this person? Yeah, and then you're just
gonna contradict the coach. Like, I don't understand that. So, I'm definitely gonna just let him do his thing. I think I'm gonna go the route of like, depending on what he does, like, I'm probably gonna do like the lessons. I want my kid to like develop really well, especially at a young age. Get the fundamentals down.
Would you want him to follow your steps and do soccer, or are you gonna be?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's probably gonna be forced, not forced, but like it's definitely gonna be around the household for him to watch and like do growing up. I do believe it's a good sport. I like soccer. I like basketball, but like soccer is so inclusive for everyone. Like you don't have to be 6 feet tall to be successful at basketball. You don't have to be strong, and you know what I'm saying. Like for football, like. Definitely not football. I don't think I'm gonna put him in football. Yeah, it's a lot of brain damage.
You don't want him to get CTE.
Yeah, bro. But
I respect that.
But whatever he wants to do, it doesn't matter. But I just want him to be the best at it. Or her. I'm gonna say it's a son.
It's gonna be
That's
him.
bad. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have daughters knowing me, bro. I'm gonna have like 3 daughters. Yes. No, but whatever they want to do, whatever my kids want to do, they're gonna be the best at it. And I'm not gonna force it on them.
Yeah, I think because my dad was the opposite of yours. Then he was like the guy that you said, the father who was telling his goalie to like, no, don't listen to him, do this.
Yeah,
that's how my dad was. Bro. And I think it's because
it's just his pride.
He was so competitive, and I don't know, I just feel like he's always like, I know best, I know what's best, I know your position, I've played so many more years than you, like listen to me. I made you. You're nothing without me. Because I just think we remember playing men's league here, like Zodiaco. Hey Zodiaco. Shout out Agustin. And dude, that was fun. I'd play winger or something like that, and he'd be like, "No, you need to open up here, you need to open up there, you need to run inside that." And then like I'd go do that because I'd listen to him because I trust his advice. And then like I'd hear other people, "No, dude, you need to be over there." Like my teammates would tell me differently, and I wasn't thinking for myself. I was like,
now looking back, that you know more, was he right or were your teammates right? What kind of advice would he give you?
No, he was right, but it's like it just changes so much. Like if you played soccer before, you know, like based on where the ball position is, like you need to either open up or you need to go and support your team. Like it really varies depending where the ball is and like who's moving it and whatnot and who has possession of it. And so like there's times you tell me to open up, and that's because we had possession and we were trying to open up the field, and so he was telling me to go to the line, so then they could open it up to me, and if anything I would drag a defender with me and then create space for somebody in the middle, right? And then when he was telling me to go back in, it's because they needed help on that side and they were trying to like tighten up so we could, you know, do high press or something. So he was definitely
he knew what he was talking about.
He knew what he was talking about, but in that time I didn't have the knowledge of the game to understand, and so I was getting mixed signals from my teammates and from him. But he doesn't know how to say it in a nice way. He's like, go do that. Like he yelled at me like, go do this. No, you're not doing it right. Go up in there. And it's like it's not a constructive way of teaching somebody. I was like,
damn. My dad was, you know who always used to do that too? Like Junior Ariza. Really? He would always, like at halftime, he would always go talk to his dad.
Really?
Yeah. And I thought that was sick. I was like, damn. Like, and his dad was really good. And Junior was really good.
Yeah, Junior.
So like his dad would give him pointers on like what to do like at halftime. Like so he'd go in and just correct it. Dude, Junior's a stud, bro. Shout out to Junior. I miss Junior. Oh yeah. He's a great roommate. But his dad was the same way. My dad was never like that. Like he doesn't know anything about sport. Baseball, I take that back. He was really good at baseball. So when I played, we would go throw the ball. He'd pitch to me. He'd always strike me out. It would piss me off, but I'm not lying. He would we'd always compete, but he was a good coach with that.
Why didn't you continue playing baseball? Or did you play little leagues and all that?
Yeah, I was little, bro. I was like, I stopped like in middle school, but I don't know, probably just not passionate about it. I just stopped. I just remember like they called one year and like, do you want to play? And I was like, it just got repetitive. It just got boring. And it was just like playing within the city. And I was just like playing against the same people the same year, and I was just kind of fed up with it. And then the year I stopped, they did like I think it's like TLCs. It's like Tournament of Champions. And then that's when they go to like Ukiah, they go to Cloverdale, they go to other cities, other towns. Like the winner of the league here, I think, goes over there.
Oh, they all kind of play each other.
Yeah, it was kind of like a little all-stars.
Oh, cool.
And yeah, it was the year I stopped. And then from there,
you just started playing soccer? That was the only thing?
I started playing basketball.
Basketball?
Yeah,
really?
I tried playing basketball. I was just trying to find another sport, you know.
How was that?
It didn't really go.
Where would you play, or who would you play with? Or?
I played with Bryce. Remember Bryce De Silva?
Yeah,
Bryce and Justin Sundstrom. I used to play with them.
Yeah.
I wasn't good. They were really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I did that for a few months, and then started trying to play football. I quit the first day, bro.
You did football?
I did football for one day.
And you quit?
I quit.
Why?
I quit because it was too much running.
Too much running?
Dude, yeah. The first day, it was like their hell week. Really? And I show up on the first day, bro. Bought new cleats, bought everything. I had everything ready, bro. Showed up on the first day. And I just remember it was so much running. I puked, bro. I didn't even wear like compression shorts. So like I was all rosado right here. Like my pants that I had like were like cut. And like I just got like a rash right here on my thigh. And I was like, damn. It was just a horrible day. I quit. I was like, I'm never coming back. And then I started playing soccer.
Damn.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. And you played soccer in high school, and then you went to college and you played, right?
Yeah, bro.
How was that? Where'd you go first?
Yeah, so out of high school, I went to Sonoma, and then didn't play there. I was just playing club. I wasn't really good. So that's the thing, bro. Like, we're from a small town, so we didn't have that. Like, I didn't play club. We didn't play club growing up. Like, we would play with Jeremiah. Shout out to Jeremiah, but like, it was a tournament a year, 2 tournaments a year. Yeah, like it wasn't like a club, or academy setting.
We have a league or something.
Yeah, and just like the competition we played was like other smaller places like us, you know. So I went on Sonoma, didn't play, didn't try out, wasn't good enough to be honest with you. I wasn't there yet. And then it was the summer going into my sophomore year. Angel Mendoza was going to practice at Mendocino College, and it was like their summer session. It was like a fitness class or something, and he went. And he's like, "Bro, you should come with." And I was like, "All right." So I went on the first day. Shane Huff is the man, local legend. Shout out Shane Huff. Was like, "Hey, before we start running, before we start like hitting the track, like I want to see you guys play, so I know where you guys' fitness level's at." We played. Like I did pretty good. And he was like, "Yeah, you should come play here." He's like, "I can tell you right now." I told him my plan. I was like, "Well, my plan was to just get fit this season or this summer, and then go back and try out." He's like, "I can tell you right now, if you go try it, you're not gonna make it." He's like, "You're not good enough, bro." Straight up. And I was just like,
"That's cold. That's ice cold."
I know, but it was true. It was true. He knows. He's been there. He's done that.
Do you think you would have appreciated that, or you would have liked
in hindsight,
more? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You never know.
No, yeah, absolutely. At the time, I was like, "Well, you never know."
Right.
Like, I can get like super fit, because at the time I thought the only thing I was lacking was fitness.
Right.
But I was lacking everything. Like I didn't know, I wasn't technical enough, and I wasn't tactical enough. Like I didn't know where to position myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I didn't know. I just didn't know.
There's a lot of the game.
There's like dude, bro, so many things that like, and I was always butt heads with Shane, because I just had like a big ego, and he would always tell me that, and he was always right. Like just looking back, he was always right, but I was like so stubborn. And I remember there was one game, bro, where we were playing at Merritt. And they tied us up. We were winning 1-0. And my forward checked in, and I didn't check in with him. So I didn't step into the pocket with him. He got the ball, he turned, started running at us, and played the ball in. The guy hit it one time, scored. It was like my guy that created the whole play. But it was because I didn't step in with him. Right. If I would have stepped in with him, we would have laid it off, or he wouldn't have turned around and ran at us.
So it was your initial mistake.
Yeah, so that's where it starts. Instead of like, "Oh, who was marking the guy that scored?" It was like, okay, it started with me. He told me that, and I was like, "Well, what are you talking about?" Because I didn't know I'm supposed to step in with the guy. He's like, "What do you mean you don't know? That's center back 101. I'm like, "Bro, what the heck? Like, I didn't know that."
Damn, so like, there's so many,
there's just like so many things that I just didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when to shift over, when to step in, when to drop off. Like.
And you learned all those things through him, or
yeah, bro. Like he would, dude. The thing about that is that he would get like raw players. Like there'd be players that are fast. There'd be players that are super good at dribbling. There'd be players that are just like they have the instinct to like score, but like they're just missing so much of their game, and he would just like remake you, bro. Like he would just make good players. The thing is like everybody goes through it, so everybody, even the center backs, the goalies, everybody learns the pressure cover balance, like when to step, the press, like the line of like just details, and I didn't know all that. So once you learn it, I did 2 years there, Did really well. My first year there, like I did it like I wasn't a starter. And then like the first game, bro, like the 2 center backs that were supposed to start didn't show up. Like they showed up late. I shouldn't say
they showed up late.
But like we were all in like right there in like in the locker room waiting. They didn't show for like 30 minutes after we were supposed to. So like, all right, you guys aren't starting. And he put me and another buddy in, Marcos Mendes.
Really? How'd you feel about that? You're like, oh no, I'm not ready.
So dude, that's the thing, bro. You go in like, okay, like I'm gonna be a role player today. I'm gonna get a few minutes in, like see where I'm at, because that was my first like collegiate game.
Were you confident going in?
No. So that's another thing, bro. Like when you don't get that many minutes, you lack confidence, because that comes from reps. That comes from being in positions of like, okay, like when the ball's kicked over my head and I got a forward coming down my back, like should I try to turn and play out of it, or should I just play it back to the goalie? Do I have enough space? Like I need to check my shoulder. When you're in those positions in games, like maybe you make a mistake one time, you're not gonna make that same mistake again,
because you remember.
You're gonna correct yourself.
Yeah.
But when you're just practicing the whole time, like it's very game like, but it's not the game. You get what I'm saying?
You can't compete.
Yeah. So like once you're in games and you got a lot of reps, like that's where the confidence comes from, because you're like, okay, I prepared, I've been here before, but I didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? Like I never, especially at that level.
So how'd that first game go for you then?
Really well.
Really?
Went really well, yeah.
Nice.
Not for the team. For me, it went well. The team, we lost.
The team,
and that's
we
the thing.
sucked,
we lost. Yeah, we got our asses beat 3-0. But like the times I was in, like we didn't get scored on. Like I felt like I did really well communicating, and I just remember, bro, like the game speed was so high. And then just like looking back at that junior college level, it's not. But for me, it was just like so, not the game speed, it was fast. That's what I meant to say. It was very fast paced for what I was prepared for, or what I was used to. And I just remember it was so scary, bro. Just like so nervous. Like just my main focus at the time. And it's just so crazy to think of like how much I've grown since then. Because it's like I don't even have those thoughts anymore. Like my first touch, like I can't mess up my first touch. I was thinking of not messing up instead of like just going with the flow.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Because once think about it.
So once you do it so much, it becomes like a rhythm.
It's muscle memory.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, I just like focusing on not messing up, like just minimizing my mistakes. And I did well. I was like competing in the air.
Nice.
Like wouldn't lose in the air. And I was just learning. And then like the first 4 or 5 games of preseason, like I was just a rotation player. So I was just going in and out, getting my minutes. And then once league started, like I just won my spot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
As soon as league started?
As soon as league started, like won my spot. I was playing really well. That year, actually, it was when you came to watch us in Folsom.
Oh, really? That was
my first year. Yeah. So.
Oh, dang.
I'm pretty sure I played the whole game there.
Yeah,
because like I didn't once it was a full season. Like I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was pretty good. You know what I'm saying? Like I scored that game.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember.
You know what I'm saying? I pointed at you guys after.
I was like, I know that guy. That's my friend.
That was hella fun, bro. That was a good ass field.
That was a good game. That was
a sick ass field. But yeah, I did really well my first year. We did good. We got second, bro. Like we got second in conference. The next year we struggled. We were supposed to have a really good team and we just struggled. We just dropped off. So the first 2 years of the program, like really good, first and second in the conference, and then the third year, my second year, it went down the drain. It was so bad. Like I think we had a losing record.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was awful.
And you were only there for 2 years?
Yeah, so I was there for 2 years, and then finishing up my second year, the spring of my second year. So usually like players that are done in the fall or like used up their eligibility, they can play in the spring to try to like get like recruited. Like so like usually we play like 1 or 2 D2 schools to like get players known. You know, it's usually Humboldt and Sonoma State, and we played Humboldt, we played Redwoods, and then that was my first year. And then we're gonna do that same thing the next year, but I actually went and tried out for. So I was like, at that time, I was just like emailing coaches, trying to get play dates, just trying to like.
Yeah, how is that process? Like,
bro,
do you have to do it yourself?
Yeah, so that's another thing, bro. Like when you're over here, you don't know how to do that. No one teaches you how to do that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know how to do that. So like, thank God I had Shane there, bro. Like he was so helpful with that, because he's a coach. He knows exactly what he's looking for, you know. And a lot of the coaches that you email, they know what they need. They're not just like, oh, this guy's really good, I'm going to get him. Like, no, we need a center back.
So the coaches would message your coach, Shane, and then he'd let you know, like, oh, they're looking for a center back?
Yeah, sometimes. So Shane, like, the coaches know each other a lot. You know what I'm saying? So they all talk, yeah. And then a guy like Shane, he's been around the game for years, so they all know him and respect him. And that's actually how I got into San Bern. So, but before that, like, basically, any player, bro, like, at any level, like, they're going to have somewhere to go. Like, it might not be the best school, and then it might not be like your best situation. So what I mean by that is you could be like the best player on your team, and then you go on to another team and you do the same thing. You just want to be the man.
Right.
That the team level's probably not going to be as good, or you can go to like a really good team and compete for your spot.
Right.
And that's what I wanted to do.
That's
I wanted to go to the best team possible and just compete.
Because you want to win.
Exactly. And I just want to get better.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has options to go like NAIA, like private, out of state, but I wanted to stay in Cali. And my main schools were Chico, Sonoma, and that was it. Yeah.
Sonoma.
Those are like my main ones. And bro, so the spring, like the spring that I was transferring out, that was 2017. And like at the beginning, like the Sonoma Soul had tryouts. I was like, bro, I'm gonna go. And then like I was talking to Shane, he's like, yeah, I mean, like if you want to go, like I don't know if you're ready, this and that. Like he's like, but it'd be good. And I was just like, dude, I'm gonna try it. Who cares? So I go, bro. I played really well. I feel like I played really well. But I didn't make the team. And then off that, like a few months later, Shane was like, whatever happened with Sonoma? Because like I had messaged them like during the fall and they never replied.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that the assistant coach for Sonoma State was at that tryout, at the Soul tryout in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so he saw me, and then Shane reached out to him, and he's like, hey, like, I have a player. He's like, oh, yeah, I actually saw him try out. He's like, he did really well.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so I got an official visit with them, and then I went on a Friday, and then I did really well, went into the coach's office, and they're like, hey, like, we like you. You fit the system. He's like, you play really well at the back, this and that. And then, but it was just like, but we had a center back come in last week and we offered him a spot, so if he takes it, like, we're not gonna have any more room.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. So I'm just sitting there, I'm like,
how do you take that? Like, geez.
It's like bittersweet, you know? It's like,
yeah, I'm good, you're good enough, but we just don't have a spot for you.
Yeah, so it's just like,
Jeez.
all right. So at the time I was just kind of like waiting for the other kid to either accept it or decline it. And a few weeks later, assistant coach calls me back. He's like, hey man, I got some bad news, like this kid ended up. So I was just like, all right, man, I appreciate the call. Handled it super well. And then from there I started playing for Victory. So there was another UPSL team starting up there. Started playing there. So much fun, bro. Such a good team, bro. Like bringing in ex-pros. Like the coaching staff was all ex-professional, dude. Like,
and where was this at? This was in Sonoma?
This was in Petaluma, bro.
Petaluma.
Yeah, so, bro, it was such a sick ass
How'd
team.
you find it? Or
I was actually playing with the Ukiah boys in at the Epicenter. And I was just like, we were just dicking around, like playing in the indoor, and then the referee was actually like their trainer.
Oh, what the
and
heck?
he was like, hey man, like you should, like, you play center back? And I was like, yeah, I do. He's like, you should come try out for Victory. Like their last tryout is this Friday. And I was like, bro, like, I was like, yeah, I'm flattered, but like in my head I was like, dude, I already tried out for Soul. Like,
yeah,
I didn't make it. It didn't go
it's
well.
It's not gonna go well.
Yeah,
for you.
I was like, dude, I don't want to spend. I spent $50 on that. I was like, I'm not trying to drive there and spend more money. And he was like, bro, it's free.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, I'll think about it. And then I had him send me all the information. And that I didn't have gas. I remember, like, it was that Friday came up, I didn't have gas. So I was like texting my friends, like, bro, can you drive me this? Can you drive me that?
Damn.
And bro, Rudy, I don't think you've met Rudy.
I haven't.
Rudy Perez, bro, the homie.
He came through?
Yeah, bro, he came through. He drove me over there. And we're supposed to scrimmage Victory that spring. So like Shane had lined up a scrimmage, like the college against them. So I go to the tryout, and then it was like 60 people, bro. It was deep.
They had like people.
Yeah, so like 6 teams of 11, like it was a lot of people, bro. And like they just start cutting people. Like each week you start seeing less and less and less, and then eventually like they got their guys, and I was just one of them.
Oh, so it's a multi-week process.
Yeah, bro. It lasted like 2 weeks. So basically, like after each session, they would like send out texts, and then like if you were in the group chat, yeah, like we're gonna come back. Yeah, they wouldn't tell you if you didn't make it. You just didn't get a text. So you'd be in the group chat and they'd be like, hey, come back this week. And it got to the point, and then finally when the roster was finalized, that practice they gave out us shirts, practice shorts, practice gear, and then
you just made the team right there,
bro. Yeah, and it was so crazy because like the first drill was like a passing drill, like you pass and move. And I just remember like looking around like under the lights. I'm just like, dude, like this is crazy. Because like you look around, like this guy, like Atlas, ex-Chivas, ex-America, like everyone's good, bro.
Everyone's
you watch their
talented.
technique, they're so technical, they're so lackadaisical when they do it because they're so good.
And it's crazy because you can't help but like compare yourself to other people. Like no matter how much,
I mean,
I know my
feel
own thing, but it's like, damn, like that guy looks good. Like this guy's, he has the credentials. Like he's gonna be a baller.
Thing, yeah, bro. That was the thing at that time. Like I still lacked confidence. I didn't have the minutes, so I played all season with them. Like I did well, and that's like when you start building up the minutes and stuff. But it really wasn't until like the next year when I played with Soul that I was like good to go, because like the MPSL, like it was a better league. And like that's like higher pace, more competitive, like more college players that come out. You know what I'm saying? Like so, it's like that level,
higher level competition.
Yeah. So like once I played a full season, bro, like now I don't even think about lacking confidence. Like back then, like I was so inconsistent because I lacked confidence. Sometimes I'd be like the best player on the field, and other times I'd be like, what is this guy doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it'd be stupid mistakes like that you shouldn't make. You know what I'm saying? Like little bad touches or stuff like that. But it was just lack of confidence.
So
and then once you make the
head.
mistake, yeah, you start getting in your head, bro.
Yeah.
And then you start losing confidence and you start.
I'm the same way.
Bro, like, thank God that's not even an issue anymore. But so basically, played Victory there. And that summer, I transferred over to Sam Byrne. But bro, like when I transferred, I'm an idiot. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I always just shoot myself in the foot because when I transferred that summer, I was taking a speech class. This speech class, bro, has been haunting me since my sophomore year, bro. I'm an idiot because I'm so irresponsible. When I was in Menda, I took a speech class, the easiest class ever. The easiest class ever. Like, you wouldn't even have to present. You just had to present at the end of the semester about a book report, and that was it. So it was like interpersonal communication, and this teacher would just talk about body language. You would talk about like how you should speak, like
how to give a good speech, how to present yourself.
But it wouldn't be like each class you have to give a speech. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I would show up with that anxiety of like, oh, I'm gonna have to present today. I'm gonna have to do that. So like, I would like talk myself out of going to class, and it'd be like a night class. So I'm just like, oh, I don't want to go. I'm tired today, and I ended up getting a D in the class
because you just didn't.
Yeah, and then I could have just got it out of the way. And then fast forward to when I'm transferring to Sam Byrne, that summer I took a class, and it was the speech class that I needed to get into Sam Byrne.
Yeah.
And then, bro, on the way, so I was playing for Victory the whole time. We ended up making the national championship. On the way to that tournament, the national tournament or whatever, the playoffs.
Yeah.
I had to turn in the essay. So I talked to my teacher. She was super cool. I was like, hey, I have to go to LA this weekend. I explained the situation. She's like, oh, that's awesome. She's like, because I had to do a speech and a book report. And she was like, okay, instead of having to do the speech, I'll just grade the book report as extra so you can get the credit for the speech.
So you don't have to do a speech at all?
Didn't have to do a speech at all.
Dang,
all I had
super
to do,
chill
all
teacher.
I had to do was the book report.
One thing.
And I had it lined up, bro. So like the whole season, I was working with Steve Purdy. Shout out to Steve Purdy. He was the head coach, ex-MLS player, ex-second Bundesliga player. Like he knew what he was doing. And it was like he was working with me like player coaching, like one-on-one, like performance psychology. And I was going to do it on that. I was going to talk about my experience. I was going to talk about everything. I had the whole plan lined up. Like, I was going to do it. I had it ready. I told her, like, when I was prepping the essay, I was like, this is what I'm going to talk about. She's like, I love it. But on the way there, bro, didn't have any Wi-Fi to submit the essay. Like, it was we took a charter bus all the way down. So I was like on people, on the teammates, like, what's it called? On their hotspots. Yeah, bro. And, dude, I'm such an idiot. I don't know why I do this. But, like, I ended up not doing that and just, like, found a YouTube video on like self-efficacy, like Conor McGregor, like speaking it into existence and like making it happen.
Sure.
And I did it on that, literally copied the video word for word and I submitted it.
Why did you change it up?
I don't know. I'm an idiot. That's why I'm an idiot. I had it fast. I was like, I need to just watch this YouTube video because I watched it weeks before. I was like, oh, I could just do that. So fast forward to Sam Byrne. I'm there preseason and I get an email from the teacher. So I'm already in school. I already got in on a special admin. They're like, all right, we're gonna get you on a special admin. All you need to do is pass this class. Once it's passed, we'll what's it called? Accept you. Like you can, because I wasn't eligible to play. I had to get that grade done, but I was like still practicing. I was still doing everything, you know.
Right.
And I get a message from the teacher, bro, and she tells me, look, you got caught plagiarizing. You got word for word from a YouTube video. She told me.
Dude, how did they find that out? That's crazy.
That's, bro, on computer. I'm sure she submits it into like a program, but
damn,
she straight up told me like I'm not gonna report it to the dean. I'm just gonna fail you for the course. I was like, fuck. I needed that, dude. I needed that. God. So then I wasn't eligible to play. They had to just go through with the special admin. And bro, like I wasn't eligible to play like the first 8 games of the season.
What do you tell your coach, or what do you?
I told him straight up. I was like, look, I messed up. I got caught. Like I cheated and I got caught. And he was just like, well, I mean, now all we can do is wait. So like I was just waiting to get it approved from the compliance officer, and then by that time, like I remember it was, and then every game, bro, like preseason, it's like, am I eligible? It's like, no, not yet. Morgan hasn't gone through with the stuff, blah blah. It's like, damn. And then there was an away trip to Montana. And I was like, called me into the office. He's like, if you're eligible, like, you're going to go. I was like, all right, so I'm just ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to go. And then day before, I'm not eligible. And then the thing about that, bro, is that like there's a group chat. So like in the group chat, you're constantly like waiting to see if you're on the roster or not. And he sends out like a message, like a picture of the roster. So it's just like you open it up, like, damn, I'm not on the roster.
Damn.
It's just this a horrible feeling every time, bro. So it's just like the people that I left behind would go get a training session in. But that would happen like all preseason. And then finally there was like, and dude, like one time, bro, like there was a game. It was a first conference game. And he's like, all right, Izzy, you're good to go. Walk in, everyone's like, yeah, Izzy. Like everyone's like happy when someone else gets approved, you know? Yeah, bro. Yeah. And then as soon as he walks in, him and the assistant coach walk in, they're like, Izzy, come over here. And I knew it. No. As soon as I said that, I was like, no. He's like, I'm just gonna be blunt with you. Like, you're not approved yet. Like, you're not cleared.
So why did they say that? It was a mistake, or?
Yeah, he was just saying that, hoping that it would get done that day, and it didn't get done. So then I had to go watch the game from the sidelines. That was against St. Martin's, I think. And then the next game was Cal State LA, and that was the one that I was I got approved. But I was already like 7 to 8 games in. And then he told me to warm up, bro. I was like on the bench. He told me to warm up. And by that time, bro, the team's like getting formed.
I was going to say, do you get your starting spot back?
No,
or do
bro.
You get
no, not at all.
Nothing.
Like, so at first, preseason games, like, you're building up the team. Like, you're trying people out of this. Like, if people lose it, you know what I'm saying, lose their spot, like,
right.
It's kind of hard to get it back. Because everyone there is good. Everyone's fast. Everyone's strong. Like, it's really, like, mentality that separates everyone. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like one guy can just have a shit game and then he can't get it back.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't lose speed. He didn't lose anything. He just lost his confidence. So, like, yeah, at that time, like, everyone's just, like, getting their spots in, and especially at center back, bro. Like, it's not a position you rotate a lot. Like a winger. Like, you can rotate out wingers and mids and forwards, but, like, at center back, you don't really want to mess with that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Same thing as a goalie. You're not going to be subbing out goalies. Like, you're in. Unless they like get injured or make a mistake or get a card. Right. So he told me to warm him up with like 30 minutes to go, and I was like warmed up, and then eventually he just didn't call me in. And then after the game, I was like upset. I was like, dude, like.
So the whole game you didn't play?
Yeah, I didn't play. And then he told me, he's like, I was gonna put you in. He's like, but then I thought, like, what if I put you in and you don't play well? He's like, there goes your season. He's like, so like I'm just gonna offer you the opportunity to choose a red shirt, or if you want to play next game, I'll put you in. And I was just like, well, dude, I already missed half the season. Like, I'm just going to throw a year of eligibility.
What's the red shirt? How does that work?
So I think every player gets 1 year of red shirting. And then if you get hurt, if you play, like, I think it's less than 25% of the season, then you get a medical red shirt. But you can only redshirt one time. And that's just like being a practice player. So, for example, like, if I'm an incoming freshman and I'm competing with you and you're, like, the captain, you're the all-star, you're the upperclassman, I'm probably not going to play over you. Yeah. So, like, it'd be smart for me to develop for that year red shirt. And when I come in, like, I'm ready to go, you know, like, I have a year of experience at that level of practice, you know, like, of understanding the system. So it's like you almost have an advantage. And then when I'm playing, I'm a redshirt freshman. I'm not a sophomore. I'm a freshman. Oh, okay. Athletically, yeah.
So, like, saves a year for you.
Yeah. So I ended up redshirting and just basically continued to do what I was doing. I was just, like, practicing with the team and doing my thing, but I just didn't have that pressure of, like, messing up in games, you know. So I was just, like, focusing on school. I was redshirting. And then in the spring, that's like when I was like competing for the spot. So like the first, what was it? I think it was UC Santa Barbara was our first spring game. I started that game, played well, ended up losing 1-0. And then we had a trip away to Las Vegas. And bro, I just had the worst game of my life. Really? Yeah, I was an idiot, bro. Like, just didn't prepare. I didn't prepare the whole week. Like, I was just... dicking around, you know what I'm saying, like having people over all the time, like, and then I just remember getting to Las Vegas, but we played UNLV the first game. My touches were off, bro. I couldn't find the pass. Like, I shot myself in the foot again.
Do you find it that, like, once you make a mistake in a game, like, and then you, like, overanalyze it, you're like, oh man, I made that huge mistake, like, that led to a goal or that led to a huge chance, like, and then do you find yourself like, oh man, I can't let that happen again, and then you're overthinking it, and the next thing you know, you make more mistakes.
So when at the time, that's how I was. That's how I was. I was super, like, would get in my head, super overanalyzing everything. Yeah. When it's just like, what you should do is just, like, forget about it and just continue to play. Like, you don't even think about it.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, exactly. But when you're playing, like, you don't want to think about what I do now. Like, I'm not gonna think about, I can't make a mistake. I'm not gonna think about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna picture myself doing the good things. So I'm just like constantly playing like highlight reels of my plays. I'm like, oh, like last time I did that, it worked. I'm gonna do that. I'm not like, fuck, I can't mess up this pass. I can't mess up this touch. I don't even think that doesn't even cross my mind in games. You know what I'm saying? But that comes from like experience. Like I said earlier, like if you don't have that experience, you're not gonna be able to think that. It's
difficult, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah. So bro, I struggled that game against UNLV. I got subbed out at half, and from there I just lost my spot all spring.
Really?
Yeah, bro. So like,
God damn.
It sucks too, cause like you work so hard all year, bro, and everyone's competing.
Yeah.
Everyone's competing. Like I didn't realize that, cause like at Mendo, like I would never get subbed out unless I was like a disciplinary thing or something. But like, it just sucks, cause like you're always like, does the coach think I played well? Like you're like a woman, bro. You're like, does he like me? Like, bro, I swear. Like you're like, does he like me? Like did I play well? Like he didn't say anything to me today. Like I'm just so insecure, dude. Like dude, it sucked.
Damn.
It sucked, cause like you're always like in your head about things. And then it was just, that was like the hardest thing, like psychologically. Like I was always struggling, because I'm like, does he like me? And then bro, like that spring, like when you had our exit meetings, so like the rest of the spring I was just like that player that would come in second half, where I would play against like the B teams and stuff like that.
Sure.
Like and then I started to play well, but like you're like on the B team instead of the A team.
Yeah, you want to be on the A team, obviously. And
then that before summer, he was like, we were doing the exit meetings, bro. And I just remember he told me, he was like, you played well. He's like, and he told me, he's like, you came into the spring really well. He's like, you came in doing really well. Like you were the top defender. He's like, but then I feel like you just kind of dropped off and everyone caught up. Because that winter break, I came in like super fit. Like I was going hard, bro. Like I was practicing every day. Like I was running every day. Like I came in good, bro. Like, and it was noticeable. And then once everyone starts catching up in fitness, like you stop standing out. And that's kind of what happened to me. I dropped off. When he says dropped off, I didn't start playing bad. Like, but everyone's just playing just as good as I was, you know?
Well. Yeah.
And I just remember that, and he was like telling me that he would always tell me, bro, like he's like, you struggle playing out of the back. And that would always piss me off. I'm just like, dude, like it would bother me, bro. Like he'd always tell me that.
Does he give you constructive criticism at least, or was it just like,
no,
you just gotta be better,
bro? It was never like, look, you need to do this.
Man.
It was just like, you can't play out of the back, you can't do. And then I'm just like, he was like, in my opinion, and not in my opinion, this is what he told me. He's like, if we could merge you and Steve together, he's like, that'd be the perfect center back. Cause I was really good defensively, but like he told me I would struggle playing out of the back. And he was just like, it's a liability in the back. And he was like, and that broke my heart, bro. And he was like telling me, what did he tell me? He was like, that like if you just continue to play well, like you would have been started, you would have been good to go. He's like, now you're gonna be competing in the fall again, like you didn't win your spot.
Damn.
And he's like, we got another center back coming in, that was supposed to go to Cal State Fullerton. He's like, and we think he's gonna do really well for us. And he's gonna start, and he did. He came in and did really well.
God damn.
Yeah, bro. So he was basically telling me like that I'm gonna have to compete in the fall, and then I found out later that I wasn't like I lost my housing. So basically, bro, that was all before. So like summer, I came in. So I came in the summer like good to go, like I was fit and stuff. But I just remember that summer I was like, dude, I'm not like gonna take it too serious, because I'm like gonna go back and I'm just gonna get let down again.
This new guy's coming in.
bro. So like I was just, at the time I wasn't eligible. Again, like just shooting myself in the foot, like just not taking care of business in the classroom.
Yeah.
So I failed my finance class, and then in the summer I had to take a course to get eligible, and that happened. And then I just remember like I was over here the whole summer. I wasn't running, I wasn't doing anything, and then he kept asking me like, oh, I don't see you signed up for classes, because there's 2 summer sessions. He's like, I don't see you signed up for classes. Like, what's going on? I was like, oh yeah, I can't afford it. Kind of like hoping that he would help me out a little bit, because it was like $1,000 just for one class. It was like $250. Yeah, it was $250 a unit.
Need to get any financial aid or anything?
No,
to help you out.
Not during summer. During other courses, yeah, but not during summer. And
that's tough.
I just remember him being like, yeah, well, let me know if you get signed up. Like I was kind of like fishing for like, oh, I can help you. I got scholarship money, but never. Like the most I got was like book scholarship, and which was really good. It was like $800 like a semester for books, bro. It was crazy expensive. But I just remember him doing that, and I was just like, man, screw this, bro. I'm not gonna like, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like,
you kind of lost
and
hope.
then And then, bro, my mom comes and she was like, hey, because I explained the whole situation to my parents. She was like, hey, like I came up with the money. And I was like, damn, nah, I got it. It was like literally on the last day. I was on the last day of being able to register for that course.
Dang.
Yeah, so I registered for it, and then he hit me back up. He's like, all right, looks good. Like, it looks like you're ready to go. Just make sure you pass this class, this and that. So then I was going to come in again and not be able, like, to be eligible for the what's it called? For the preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, damn, bro. And then literally, bro, within like a week span, like everything just went to shit. Like I lost my housing. Like some people that I was supposed to move in with didn't, so we ended up losing like the house.
They just flaked.
My financial aid, like I had to like verify like through the IRS, and I had to do that through paper because my mom didn't have like the account numbers that were necessary for it, so I couldn't do it online. And then like I had another coaches meeting, and he told me like, look, you're probably gonna be like the third or fourth on the spot. And then I was just like, damn. Bro, like literally within like 2 weeks. So with the whole IRS standard verification, I would have had to wait like 6 to 8 weeks for it to process, and I had to pay the tuition in 2 weeks. So like, dude, I'm gonna have to pay this out of pocket. Like I lost the housing here in San Bern. My parents back home, like our landlord had passed away, and they lost the house because they're gonna put it on the market, so they had to move out.
Jesus.
So it was just like so much going on, bro. And I'm just thinking like trying to weigh out my options. Yeah, bro. So I'm like, dude, my lease ends up here in like 2 weeks. Like I don't have anywhere to move into. So like when those 2 weeks like were up, like I was just living out of my car. So I was like, I had all my stuff in the car. Like I'd just crash on my homies' couches. Like didn't have anywhere to stay. And then just like it was just so like overwhelming. And I just remember weighing out my options. Like, dude, it's probably best for me just to dip out, just finish my summer course and then just dip out. And then I just remember having that bro. I just remember having that meeting with coach. And it was like it went really well. Like it was just like, it was like, yeah, like unfortunately, like you shot yourself in the foot and there's really nothing we can do. And I was just like, yeah, I understand that. Like I was just very frustrated with myself. And I just remember telling him like, I think I'm just gonna dip out. Like I'm just gonna wait till the summer session's done, and then I'm just gonna move back home. Like there's really nothing else I can do. Like I don't have housing, I can't pay tuition, I can't, you know what I'm saying? Like it sucks. And he's like, yeah. So like we ended up we left off on a really good note, and he's always been helpful. Like I always appreciate everything he's done for me.
Yeah.
But I just remember leaving and just kind of realizing it was over. And I was like, dude, all that work, literally all the 6 a.m. sessions, all the running, everything just to get to that level, all the training sessions there. And I was just thinking, dude, it's over. And I remember I go back home, and my roommate, Angel, and Serge were right there, like in the room, like taking a nap. And I just remember like walking in super quietly, and I didn't want to wake him up. And I just go into the bathroom, bro, and I just start bawling my eyes out. And I was just like, so like hysterically crying, like, bro, like I couldn't hold it in, bro. I couldn't hold it in, dog. And I was being louder than I wanted to. And then I just remember Serge waking up, and he was like, bro, you okay? And I was like, yeah, bro, I'm fine. And like nobody knew what had gone on.
Right, you were the only one who knew.
Yeah, bro. And then after that, I had to leave. Like I didn't want to just sit there and hear like them hear me cry. So I dip out, and then I remember I called my dad, and he heard me cry. He's like, what's wrong? And I was like telling him what happened. He's just like, oh, like he wanted to drive down right there. He's like, you want me to come down right now? It's like, no, it's fine. Like I'm just gonna finish out. Because I was like within 2 weeks to go, so I had like still like 3 weeks of the class still. So I was like there for 3 weeks, not really practicing, not doing anything. Yeah. And it just sucked, bro. Like I just felt like an outcast. Like the rest of the time I was there, like everyone was at training sessions, and I was just at the house finishing up schoolwork. Like it sucked. It's like I hated it, bro. I just wanted to go back home. Like I didn't have anywhere to go, and then not having family down there, like you're just so isolated.
Damn, I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
that.
bro. So it's like you're an outcast. And I just remember coming back home, bro. And I just started working. I remember I started working. I was working at a hotel, and I was working at a restaurant. So I'd go in like from 8 to 3 at the hotel, and then from 4 to like 11 at the restaurant. I was just
trying to keep busy.
Yeah, bro. Just trying to like make money. Like I was tired of just not having money, you know.
Do something, yeah.
And then it's just been a struggle just to try to get back in, you know. Like I kept missing deadlines, and I kept missing, like, yeah, that's basically it. Just missing deadlines to go back to Sonoma, because that was like my option. And the coach told me that. He's like, hey, like I talked to Marcus, like, he really likes you. He's like, you should try to go back to Sonoma. You should try to go back to Chico, like whatever. I'll help you out. And then he also told me like stay in state, like try to go to Stanislaus. I was like, he's like, I feel like you'd be a really good fit. I was like, all right, like I'll try it out. And I remember, bro, I was working at at the hotel, and one day the stand coach hit me up. He's like, "Hey, Izzy, like I had a conversation with Darren. Like it went really well."
Oh, damn.
He's like, "You should come out to like a player invite camp." He's like, gave me all the instructions. He's like, "If you're available, it's this Sunday." And I was on like a Tuesday. I was like, "Dude, I only have a week to get fit." No, that's a lie. It was a Thursday. I had a few days. So I remember after that, I went to the gym, and then I was just like running for those 2 days. And then I was driving down Saturday, and I was gonna stay with a homie in Berkeley, and then drive down the next day. And he sent us an email. Like, "Hey, like our fields got rained out. Like we're gonna just postpone it and redo it to next week."
Oh, damn.
And I was like, "Okay, perfect. Like I'll just drive back home. Like I'll have another week to get fit." So that's what I did. Okay. I went back. Like at this time, bro, I wasn't running at all. I wasn't playing at all. It was like from when I left, from September to December, I wasn't running.
You'd just been working.
I was just been working, and I wasn't ready. And then I go back that following week, bro. I did really well, really well. Like I was just the fitness level, and I had told him, I was like, I haven't been running. And he's like, we really like you. He's like, I think we're gonna go through with it. And it was like me and 3 other players right there that were getting recruited.
Nice.
And so the whole month of December, I was just like doing all the transcript stuff, like sending them over, like trying to do all the transfer stuff done. And I just remember, bro, it was a week of Christmas, and I hit him up. I'm like, "Hey, bro," like I was like, nah, I didn't say bro. I was like, "Hey, coach, like I sent out the last transcript last week. Just let me know when you get it." He's like, "Hey, Izzy, like I just got it. Like thanks for reaching out. Like I'm gonna wait till I see the compliance officer next so I can give it to her." And then he's just like, "I'll keep you posted on what to do." I was like, "Okay." And then like 2 weeks later, it was in January, like the 14th. Like the school was gonna start in like on the 23rd. I remember that 23rd of January.
So like in a week.
Yeah. And my parents were asking me like, "What's gonna happen?" And I was just like, "Well, I don't know. Like I'm just waiting. Yeah, I'm just waiting." But I started kind of panicking. I was like, "Well, I don't know what I'm gonna do, bro." So I hit him up, and doesn't text me back. I tried calling him, doesn't answer my calls. Leave voicemails, doesn't reply. Leave emails, just ghosted me, bro. And I was just like, what the heck? What? Like this fool was recruiting me so hard. Like reached out, like was constantly calling me, constantly texting me, seeing how I was doing. Like, like he was just recruiting the shit out of me. And then all of a sudden he ghosts me. And I'm like, damn, bro. Like that was my chance to go back to school. I kept missing deadlines. The only way I was gonna get in is like if I get recruited. So like without having to go through the whole like transfer process.
Yeah.
And or like fill out more applications, bro. Like, so I ended up not going to school for the whole year. I took the year off. No, never heard from him since, bro. Really? Just ghosted me. Didn't hear from him back. What the hell? And I just remember. Professional. And I just remember, yeah, didn't handle it well. And I just remember after that. What am I trying to say? Yeah, just took the year off, moved to Ukiah, started just working, and then from there, just transferred over to Sonoma. And then from there, reached out to the coaches on the first day and got a tryout, and then made it for the spring, and then everything got canceled. So
yeah, because of Corona.
Things ruining my life, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Can't catch a break.
But, that's crazy.
Yeah, that year I took off, I was playing with Soul. Helped me a lot, bro. Helped me a ton, dude. Like just minutes, constantly getting minutes, being put in those uncomfortable positions. Like you learn from that, you know? Yeah. And then the level there, like the players, your teammates are so good. Like, you know, you're just getting better every practice.
You can always get better, I think.
Always improving.
There's always a higher level.
Yeah, and then I feel like that helped me out a ton because just my confidence level, like just from when I started to now, like just night and day. So like as of right now, I'm kind of like torn between if like I want to continue just to play or just want to just focus on my career, bro. Because I feel like all the time and effort I put into like soccer, it can be put into elsewhere, you know.
Well, you're almost done, right?
Yeah, I'm almost done. Yeah, so I can always start now, you know. It's not an excuse, but we'll see. Nice. If fall goes back to normal, like if we go back in the fall, then I'll probably continue to play. But if not,
if this gets cleared up, we gotta wait, see what COVID happens. What happens?
We'll see what happens, bro.
Damn.
We'll see what happens, but as of right now, still got a year of eligibility. 1 year out of the all the time I've been in school and not in school, like I still got a year.
Still got 1 year. Yeah. I think it's worth a shot. Might as well, right?
Might as well, yeah. Go out with a bang. That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I was super iffy about it, and then I was just like, why not?
Why not?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Might as well just go through it and enjoy everything, you know? But, bro, that could have been you. That could have been you. You could have went. I tried convincing you, bro. You would have done really well at Mendo. I'm telling you.
It's crazy. I still think about that to this day. Just like, because I remember that one time I called you in Davis. when I was on academic probation, and
that was it, huh? That was why you're like, dude, I'm
it was
thinking
my
about going.
end of my sophomore year, and I called you, or I told you or texted you with something, and I was like, dude, like, I think I'm not going to be in Davis next year because I was like failing my physics classes and stuff. And I was like, dude, I'm not doing so hot. And I was like, I was sort of mentally prepared to like, okay, like I'm going to pack my stuff and go.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned it to you and you're like, dude, come play with Mendo. And I was like, no, you're crazy. I was like, no, I'm going to go home and I'm going to work or I'm going to do something, right?
But isn't it weird how like, just because it's a hassle to do it, you don't want to do it.
Exactly. Even though it probably would have been a great choice.
Yeah, when I had went to Mendo, bro, like I had already paid my tuition and my housing for the following fall.
Really?
And I told my mom, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to Mendo. She's like, what do you mean? Like, we already paid all that, like, thousands of dollars, bro. I was like, we can just get it refunded. Like, it's not a big deal. But she's like, because it was such a hassle, like I had to find a place to stay. I had to find a job there. I had to do like the transfer work, everything. Like, she didn't want to go through with it. I was like, dude, I don't want to stay there. Right now, like the way my life was going, like I don't want to do this. I'd rather play. And she thought, I was like, oh, you're basically soccer over this and that. I'm like, yeah, I am.
I mean, kind of. Yeah, you're not wrong,
but everything worked out, bro. But yeah, like just a lot of times, just because things are a hassle, people don't want to do it.
Exactly. And he would have made it super easy on me because like, dude, I'll talk to Shane. I'll talk to the coach
dude,
for you.
He would have found a place. You got a job. And I mean, all you would have had to do was just the transfer work. That's
I know,
it.
And I'm not lying when I said I considered it. Like I definitely considered it, and I talked to my sister about it also. And I was like, hey, like this is going on. Like I'm not sure if I'm gonna be here next semester or next quarter. Like I'm thinking about maybe going to Mendo, playing soccer there for a few years, finishing up some of the general ed because I still had a bunch of general ed I needed to do. I was like, get that out of the way, play 2 years, and then transfer back to Davis or transfer to a different school, and then just like probably like a week and a half later or 2 weeks later, I went in for a counseling session.
That I remember that. That's what it was.
With an academic advisor.
Like, I have this meeting, and if it goes well, then I'll stay here. But if it goes bad, then I'm gonna go.
Yeah, and I was really convinced. Like I was telling all my friends in Davis too. Like my close friends who knew, I was like, yeah, like this is the decision. I'm gonna go to this meeting and it's gonna go well, and they're gonna tell me I can fix it and I can do X, Y, Z to stay, or they're gonna tell me like I'm sorry, it's just a little bit too late because the next quarter had already started and they had been dropping me out of my classes because I didn't get grades. Yeah, so I'm an idiot. I like took it was my second courses, the next section of like bio and chemistry. So I was in like Chem 2B and Bio 2B or whatever it's called, like the next section of the bio course and the chem course. And so I'm like at lab and they have my name on the roster, everything's cool, and I was like, okay, I was fine. Like, but I was hella anxious because the quarter before I had taken all these classes and I knew I didn't do so well in it, but I was so nervous to like check my grade. I was like just too nervous to check.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I was like, I just won't. I know I did enough to pass. I don't care what it is, but I know I passed. And so I went into the next quarter blind. So I'm taking these next classes and I'm in my lab and my name's on the roster. Everything's cool for like the first 2 sessions. And then the third day, they usually give you like a week or 2 weeks to drop classes and to add new ones and stuff like that. So after that like period had ended, I got dropped. So I went to lab one day and they called everybody's name except for mine. But I had been going every day, so they knew I was there.
Yeah.
And I go up to the aide. I was like, you didn't call my name this time. She's like, what? Well, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, well, let me check it out. And she's like, that's weird. Like, hold on, let me go talk to somebody and I'll try to figure it out. She's like, just stay here for the minute. And then like probably 10 minutes later, 15 minutes later, she's like, hey, so for whatever reason, it's not showing us that you're enrolled in this class. Like, are you sure you're enrolled? And I was like, yeah, I was on the attendance roll earlier.
Did it ever cross your mind like maybe I got dropped?
In that moment, yeah. I was like shitting bricks. I was like, dude, this is it. Like I didn't pass my class. Like I thought I passed, but I didn't. And she's like, you should go talk to an academic advisor or check your online profile and see if you're logged in. And I was like, okay, thank you. I just grabbed my bag and dipped. I felt so embarrassed because like the rest of the classes, like they're on standstill. They're waiting for me to like sort my stuff out. Oh. Yeah. So they're just kind of waiting, chit chatting and like looking. And then they hear me say like, what? Like they overheard them say that I had been dropped. And I was like, no. And so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go home and I'm going to check it. And then I went home. I think I was on the bus and I was taking the bus home and I'm checking my phone and boom, it's like drop. It's all in red. It's like, and I was like, no way. And it's like at the top, please see an academic advisor to blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, oh my God. And I hadn't been checking my email either because I was so anxious too. I was like, dude, I want to avoid it. It's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
I'm an idiot. Like, always check your email. Yeah. Always check your whatever. Like
the email was like warning you?
You need to be on top. And I found a bunch of emails saying, hey, like you need to make an appointment now because at this rate you're going to be dropped. Like there was a bunch of warnings that they had sent me. But because I was so anxious to check my email, I had like 130 unread emails or something like that. Like
you can make an appointment for what? Like what?
To see an academic advisor. Like they were giving me like sending me emails to say, based on your grades from last quarter, you will not be able to qualify for the following quarter. So you need to talk to an academic advisor to see if you need to change courses or you need to change majors or whatever. Like they were telling me like, do this before this deadline. The deadline had already passed. And that's why I was so convinced that that's it for me, right? Once I got dropped out, I was like, that's it. And then I just responded to the email, even though it said like it was already, the deadline had passed, but I was like, whatever, like I'm just going to try.
You're like, I'll be fine.
And I called and they're like, oh yeah, we see that you just got dropped from your classes. Is that why you're calling now? And I was like, well, yeah, that's why. Yeah, I can't go to your classes anymore.
You're like, what? I got dropped?
And so then she's like, okay, well the academic, you usually have to call like 2-3 weeks in advance.
Yeah.
She's like, well, she's really busy, but I realize this is like a kind of like specific situation. We'll try to make it work. How does Thursday sound or something like that? And I don't have class anymore because I've been dropped from all my classes. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, that works for me. I think it works. And so I show up on like a Thursday or whatever, and she's just like, hey, yeah, so I'm sure you must have been pretty shocked to be dropped out of your classes, right? And I was just like, yeah, you can say that.
Like, you think this is a game to me?
And then she's like, so what's going on? And I was like, well, these classes suck. I hate them and I don't want to do this anymore. And she's like, okay.
Really? You didn't like the classes?
Yeah, no, well, I think I mentioned earlier in another episode that I just didn't enjoy the sciences as much as I thought I did. Like I thought I wanted to be in STEM and I just wasn't really enjoying myself as much.
How did you go into psychology?
So this is how it kind of happened.
Okay.
And so she asked me, she's like, well, it looks like the bio is looking pretty hard for you. We can continue to do it and you can just try to get extra help, or we can look for a switch major. And I was like, okay, well, I had never considered it. I was like, okay, well, what else is there? She's like, well, what other classes have you taken? And she started pulls up like a big extensive list of all the classes I had taken to that point. I was a sophomore at the time. And she like looks at all the grades. She's like, oh, well, you did good in this class, you did really good in this class, and you did really well in this one. And then I looked at the pattern, and it was all psych classes. And I was like, oh, I didn't realize. And there's still like a science-based to psych, not as extensive as like the biochem or calcs side of it. But like I didn't realize like it still kind of involved the STEM that I thought I enjoyed, but it had a different aspect to it, a social aspect to it. And so I was like, oh, wow. I was like, I didn't think about it. And then she's like, did you enjoy these classes? And I was looking back and I was like, dude, that was a hella fun class. I remember that. Really good professor. My friends were in that class too. I really enjoyed myself. And I remember wanting to go to class. Like I actually wanted to, versus like the bio classes where I was like, oh man, I got lab in 2 hours or something. I was like dreading it. So I was like, oh yeah, I guess so. And she's like, okay, cool. It's like, well, we can try out psych. You can always switch it if you want. She's like, the only problem right now is your GPA is under a certain threshold, or we are not allowed to switch you majors because you need to raise it first. You need to raise your GPA first in order to pass a certain threshold. So then you can then request a transfer of major. It's really weird. I think I had like a 2.3 at that time or something. I needed like a 2.5. And they're like, okay, so what you can do this quarter is you're not going to get dropped out. You just need to re-enroll in different classes that are available that are going to help boost your GPA up. You can take anything you want. Anything you think is going to be easy, anything you think is going to help you, just take that. And then once you raise your GPA to a 2.5 at least, come back, talk to me. We'll set an appointment and then we'll switch your major. And so I was like, okay. And so I ended up taking these random classes. I forgot what they were, but I signed up for 3 literally random classes that I looked at, rated my professor, saw that it was a chill professor, saw it was a pretty easy class. And I was like, okay, cool. And that's what I ended up doing. I ended up doing pretty well in that class. I ended up getting like a 3.8 that.
Wait, you took
that
those
quarter.
3 random classes for a quarter?
For that 1 quarter, yeah. Because it's at Davis, it's a 3 quarters for like a year. And then you can do summer session if you want, so you can do up to 4. Yeah, I ended up doing really well. Got like a 3.8 and then raised it up to like the 2.5 that I needed or whatever. And then I went and I changed majors the next time.
Have you ever had above a 3.0 in college?
Yeah. Yeah. Like for a quarter system? Or for like just overall GPA?
Overall GPA.
Because I know I've had quarters where I've had a 4.0. Like
really?
All my classes I got A's in and I got a 4.0, and I only did that twice. I made like the honor roll or the dean's list or whatever the heck they call it. Yeah, but my overall GPA after graduating, after the 4 years, after messing up for literally 2 years and just getting C's, D's and failing classes, my overall was like a 3.03 or something like that. I just got over a 3.0 for my cumulative GPA.
That's all that matters.
So I was like, hey, whatever, man.
Damn.
But it just shows like even if you mess up the first 2 years and you're doing something you don't enjoy and you're not doing so well, like you can always turn it around.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
That's a good thing you did.
It was switching majors. That's what did it for me.
I wonder what would have happened if like you didn't fail those classes or you didn't get dropped.
If I didn't drop?
Yeah.
And I stayed doing bio?
Yeah, like where would you be?
I don't know, man. Probably not happy.
Be miserable?
Probably not happy, yeah, absolutely. maybe I'd be making more. Maybe I would end up like getting dropped out and failing, or who knows? Yeah, but
it happens.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like a lot of the good things come from failing.
Yeah, but I also think a lot of good could have come out if I would have ended up going to Mendo. Like if you,
I think so too. I just don't want to say it. I think you would have done really well. Dude, you would have been player of the conference. You would have been at a D1 school playing, bro. You would have.
That's just one thing I hate is like Davis and soccer in Davis is so competitive because they're D1. It's just like I never really found a spot for myself there. It's like maybe I could have started off Mendo, built confidence like you did, and then gone to a bigger school and
you would have done better. Cause bro, I was so raw. I was so bad. Like I was so. You were good coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many people here with talent that don't move on because they don't have the resources. They don't. Maybe they don't have the drive.
Yeah.
I had the drive. I had the work ethic. I just didn't have the skill.
Because you started late.
Yeah, bro. I was a late bloomer, but you would have done really well. I know that for a fact.
I think that's why. Also, that's something why kind of we're starting the podcast. We want to be able to provide those outlets for people.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. If anybody wants to know how to get there or to email coaches, like it's something that we don't learn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's something also like you learn. I would say from Shane, I learned a lot. Like he just told me, look, give him your name, give him your jersey number, give him the position you play, where you play. Maybe your height, your weight, and then tell him your major. Like I'm a business marketing major. I'm looking to play at Sonoma State next year. I'm really interested. I grew up around this area. I'd like to go local. Here's my highlight film. Here's my season schedule. Like I'd like to hear back. I would appreciate the message back. What would I say? I'd say, thank you for your time. I hope to hear back from you soon. That's what I would say. And I would sign it with my name.
Super professional.
Just simple, short, straight to the point, bro. Because there'd be times where I'm in Darren's office, like over at San Bern, and he has on the board like teams from 3 seasons from now. Like so, he has the roster done.
Dang, planned out already.
Yeah, bro. Like you're on there, you're not on there. Like he has those. Like his recruiting process is like he's a master recruiter. Like he's so good at recruiting. Like gets talent, bro. And he'd get hundreds of emails a day.
Really?
A day, bro.
From players?
Yeah, like he'd like scroll down his email list.
What?
Bro, and I'm sure it just got more extensive from their success they've had over the past 2 seasons. Like they're like a nationally ranked team now.
Dang.
Now it was crazy, and I was part of his first recruiting class. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm just saying.
A big baller.
It's an honor, you know. But it was crazy to see how many people would just email a day, dude.
But it's crazy because you also don't realize that you have to do that. Like I had no idea you'd have to do that.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like that's
no one teaches you that.
That's another thing, bro. Like if you need to be annoying. You need to go out there. You need to like send them, shoot them emails, shoot them texts, call them like you need to. Like they're not coming after you unless you're a really good player,
crazy
like
up and coming
super
hot
crazy
shot.
good. Yeah, they don't reach out, and then even then it's probably like coaches reaching out for you.
Right.
Like it's not. Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Like he helped me out a ton.
Right.
And yeah, they're never gonna be after you, bro. Never. And that's the thing. Like you need, if you want to get your foot in the door, you need to be assertive. You need to be like emailing them. You need to be after them. Yeah. That's the thing. Like you need. I learned that like just being thrown into that situation, you know. But if I would have known that from the jump, I probably could have made the whole situation or everything easier for me.
Yeah, that just shows, man. You got to use your resources.
Use the resources, absolutely. Yeah. Never. Another tip too is like never burn your bridges. Never be on bad terms with coaches. Yeah. Because that'll screw you over in the long run. They talk. Yeah. They talk, bro. Yeah. Like never with anyone, bro. Like in a job, with teachers, with whatever.
In
never.
General.
Yeah, because you never know when you're gonna need help. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And just because of that, like Darren used to coach in the same conference. So he was coaching at College of Marin, and then that's when he moved to San Bern the year he was coaching there the year before I went, and then the next year he went to San Bern, and then the year I went that was his first year as head coach, his first recruiting class, and he told me, he's like, the only reason I saw your film is because I know Shane. He's like, I saw Mendocino College. He's like, oh, I know Shane, and then he opened it up. He's like, I like the film. I thought you played really well. Invited you on a official visit, and then I played well, and then I got the spot, you know. But that was it. Like literally only because I knew Shane, or because I played for Shane. If not, I probably wouldn't even been called back, you know. Yeah. It's crazy though. Like it's just about who you know.
Absolutely. I think the more I grow up, the more I realize like the connections you have, the people you know, it's huge. It'll get you a job. It'll get you a career. It'll get you anything. Like, somebody knows somebody who's doing what you want to do, and you just got to find that kind of person.
Yeah, that's why it's important to network, expand your network, and always be on top of things.
Hell yeah.
Because who knows where I'd be if I didn't pay all those classes. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, I would have probably gotten done school sooner. I probably wouldn't have been ineligible.
Yeah, if I had messed up my first 2 years, I could have got my degree in psych and sociology like within 2.5 years, and I could have had I could have graduated early. I could have started my career early. I could have been a teacher way earlier. I could have maybe changed path and done something different. Like, could have saved a lot of money.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
At least we know now, you know?
Yep.
But I think that's a good note to end it on.
Good way to stop, yeah. Hell yeah.
Good shit today, my boy.
Good stuff.
Hey, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Follow us on Instagram at the Coast Boys Podcast.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave us a like and your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time.
Later.